Welcome to the Wildcast podcast, coming to you from Wildcast Studios with your hosts Adam Lund and Jeremy Boucher.
Merry Clinchmas and welcome into Wildcast Studios on Rogers TV for another episode of the Wildcast podcast, the unofficial voice for all things Moncton Wildcats, presented by Alpha's Appliance Solution, the premier destination for all KitchenAid, Whirlpool, and Maytag appliances in Moncton. Right now, they got the KitchenAid built-in savings event. Save $600 when you purchase any 3, $800 when you purchase any 4, or $1,200 when you purchase any 5 or more qualifying KitchenAid appliances from now till March 5th. As always, fan listeners, conspicuous by his absence, kind of. I'm in the studio all by myself. I'm your host, Adam Lund, but I am joined by your favorite co-hoster, Mr. YQM, Mr. Starbucks, Mr. Jeremy Boucher. How you feeling, bud?
Well, as you can see, not beside you, so a little under the weather this week, and just decided that I would keep you and everybody else in your household safe by not spreading my germs around. So, the grace of technology, we're still able to do this episode.
Yeah, we had to. Well, I had to scramble to get something that didn't say "view from the other bench" on it because we're both on the same bench. But how's your week been other than being sick? Just a regular week, or what?
Yeah, not much going on.
How's Megan?
Trying to get over whatever I have, and it's keeping me up at night, and it's not good. But so we're probably on the same sleep pattern there this week. But other than that, no, it's been pretty good. What about you? Things are going well.
It's going pretty well. I think it's been 2 weeks, which is crazy. It's been 2 weeks since she was born. She's growing, and the only reason I know she's growing, A, is because I hold her all the time, but B, she's not sleeping. She eats and eats and eats, sleeps 20 minutes, eats and eats and eats, sleeps 15 minutes. The other day, she just ate all day, barely slept, and then at night, she slept for 4 hours. I was like, yes. We're going to get 4 hour increment. No, we got 4 hours once, and then it was 2 and 2 and 2. But no, she's growing, and had her hearing test so she can hear, which she can fake that she can't hear us, but really she can hear us. But yeah, no, it's we're getting about 7 hours a night, but it's still uninterrupted. But yeah, it's crazy to think, A, it's already been 2 weeks, and B, how fast she's growing. How's Megan doing?
Doing well. She's still working and still on her feet, but she's cut back on her hours so that to just get off her feet. Other than that, she's doing good. She wants to work up until I think a week before she's due. I told her no, that's not happening. So I think we're in the process of trying to decide, just exactly when she's going to stop work.
Yeah, Layla was the same way. She was going to work up until about a month, depending how she felt, and then her hands got carpal tunnel from the swelling so bad that she could barely type. And being at home and being project manager for Irving, she has to do a lot of typing, and she was almost in pain, so she was done like 2.5 months early. So, it's always good to have a plan until life stops said plan. So the Super Bowl. How much fun was that, eh?
Unless
you're a Chiefs fan.
let's save that for later in the show.
Oh,
I think you remember what we discussed. Maybe not. We'll see.
Oh, maybe I did. Yeah. All right, let's go to Hell's Kitchen then.
Yeah.
Let's go to Hell's Kitchen. Kyle was the winner. Kind of one of the underrated ones when this thing began, but he just steadily got better and better and better. I didn't think he was going to win it. I didn't see him winning it. I kind of thought Hannah was going to win it, even on the finale. I thought she executed her team a little bit better. I thought Joe was going to take Kyle down with his inability to cook really anything, but just a underrated winner that I don't think a lot of people thought would win.
Yeah, the funny thing is usually when there's a season finale like that, I'll unfollow all the accounts on Instagram so no spoilers pop up.
Yeah.
Well, I actually forgot to do that. So, we go to the hockey game Friday night, and I come home and go straight to bed, and then I wake up Friday morning, open my Instagram, and find out who won. So, I didn't even get a chance to watch the episode, but I'm sure I'll go watch it eventually. But no, you're right. Kyle was, you want to talk about projection and kind of stepping up their game at the right time. It's, if you want to put this into like a hockey player scenario, this would be like, being a 8th round pick and then going on to win league MVP, right? Yeah. It's just, you didn't expect it at the start when you first got to know Kyle, but at the end of the day, the best one won.
Yeah, he seemed like when he first started, he was just going to be like that type of chef that has some fun and can cook really well, but when it actually has to lead and stuff like that, he may not have the voice to lead, and he just continued to step up. And I think he'll actually do really well in Gordon Ramsay's as one of his head chefs in his new restaurant. Have they done one where they've taken all like the runners up and the third place?
There was an all-star, yeah.
It was an all-star one?
All-star season, yeah.
Okay.
Where it was like either you finished like second or third, or
right.
You went home because of a medical issue. They have done that before. Yeah, like a second chance kind of season. Yeah. Okay.
Because I was like, it'd be cool to see a second chance season, but and it's just, it rattles off. Like Gordon Ramsay just keeps popping out shows because next level chef comes out. I know he had the kitchen nightmares as we got to the Super Bowl. So, but yeah, no, congratulations to Kyle. And we just now, I don't even know what the next show we go with is because we don't have Big Brother. We don't have Masked Singer.
Yeah. Well, Masked Singer is starting up again, but ever since they changed the format, we kind of got out of it. And, it's 13, a good question. It's a very good question. I don't know what other show we're going to start following along. I mean, there's The Bachelor. We got one of the women on The Bachelor is from New Brunswick.
Yeah.
So Alex Godin, she got the first impression rose on the first episode, and she's still on the show. So
yeah,
that could be something that we get into and start cheering for some local talent.
And speaking of the Bachelor style shows, Love is Blind comes out on Friday.
Yes.
That's the new season on Netflix that comes out. I sent it to you, but I came out from, I think I picked up Kiva from a nap, or I woke up from like one of our naps and went to the kitchen and was like, do you remember like Jason Kelsey in a reality TV show? And I was like, no. She's like, oh, because E has Catching Kelsey on. And I'm like, oh yeah, I remember Catching Kelsey. So we watched that all day on Sunday instead of like Super Bowl prep or Super Bowl anything. We just binge watched all Catching Kelsey's. Oh my God, it was so bad. Like, he starts out with 50 women because 50 states, each state has a representation, and he sends states home. And like when he gets rid of them, he's like, so I'm gonna have to send you back to Colorado. I'm gonna have to send you back to Minnesota. I'm gonna have to send you back to Minneapolis. Like it was so bad. And I was just, but you couldn't not watch. Like it was just that crap TV that you just continued to watch. And I wonder if any of the guys are like, really, dude? Like, I wonder if that gets brought up in the locker room, or if that's been scrubbed from anybody's mind in the Kansas City locker rooms.
You told me about that. I don't think I'd ever heard of it before. So it's that was new to me.
Yeah. It was so bad. It was good. We couldn't turn it off. Like I even started like Googling it and trying to find out more info about it. And I found out who the winner was, and I still watched it all the way up. It ended at like 10 after 7 or quarter after 7 with how long it would go. And the Super Bowl started at 7:30. Like that's how long we watched it. We shut it off, and it was right into the America the Beautiful, and then the anthems, and then the Super Bowl. Like it was, yeah. I mean, I didn't care about the teams, but yeah. But yeah, that's if you want to follow us, don't forget on all our social medias, Twitter, Moncton Wildcast, Instagram, Wildcast Podcast, TikTok, Wildcast Podcast, and as well on YouTube. Don't forget to like and smash that subscribe button. It lets us know you like what we're doing. Click the bell so you don't miss any podcast post games as we get into the march to the playoffs. Let's get to some news and notes from around the queue.
News and notes from around the queue.
I miss you over here. Like I know you're right there, but I miss you over here. It's just a flow that I want to keep looking at your seat, and I know that I'm looking the wrong way on the camera, so I gotta look this way at you. But yeah, I miss you. News and notes from around the queue presented by Integrity Lawn Care. Check them out on Instagram or give them a call, 506-866-8218, or email them at integritylawnCare@hotmail.com. Not a lot of news going on. The QMJHL has launched a new website for the QMJHL Foundation. So basically you can make donations to the foundation that they've had. And it is, I can't remember. I had that up there. I had the website up and now I lost it. They added, QMJHL's added brain eye to its concussion protocol. Like, not a whole lot of news this past week. Student athlete of the month for January was named, and Natan Grenier was named the representative for the Wildcats.
That's a nerd. It's a nerd.
And I mean, there's just a whole lot of no news, really. I try to save things. I'm just like, I got two things for news. So luckily, we've got the QMJHL team of the week. We got the player of the week. So let's get to those. We got a Boucher team of the week, correct?
That's true. We actually do have a team of the week this week, and a full team of the week.
A full team of the week? What? So we're not on the penalty kill anymore?
No, we're actually full. I'm pretty sure. Let me check my list here. But
all right. Well, I'll get to the team of the week here first before we get to Boucher, because everybody really wants a Boucher. So we'll get this one out of the way. QMJHL team of the week, Sam Oliver from Drummondville, 3 games, 5 goals, 2 assists. Justin Carbonneau from Blainville, 3 goals, 3 assists in 3 games. Thomas Verdon from Noranda, 3 goals, 3 assists in 3 games. Alex Wang, a goal and 2 assists in 2 games. Dylan Gill from our Moncton Wildcats, a goal and 4 assists and a +3 in 3 games. And then the goaltender was Raphael Precor from Chicoutimi, 2-0, a .959 save percentage, and a goal against average, which we're going to talk about them in a little bit as well. And your player of the week is the aforementioned Sam Oliver from Drummondville. 3 games played, 5 goals, 2 assists, and a +5. Now what people want, Boucher team of the week.
Yeah, so we're going to start up front. 2 guys that are also on the Q team of the week. Sam Oliver. My reasoning is he's the first player to reach 40 goals this season.
Yeah.
That's pretty. Didn't think he would be the player to do it, but here we are. I think most of us thought it'd be maybe a player in Baie-Comeau, but I think he's a couple.
Thought it might be Sean too.
Yeah, only a couple behind.
He was going. Yeah.
Justin Carbonneau again, 6 points. Maritime road trip, 3 games, 6 points. So 2 points per game on average. And then I've got Philip Bayou on here from Val-d'Or. When you play in Val-d'Or, you're hidden.
Yeah,
he's got 31 goals and 34 assists in 49 games. I think he's really taken off since they acquired Noah Reinhardt. They've really shown they've got some chemistry together, and both those guys are on a tear lately. On the back end, we've got Alex Carr, 200th career game. Last Wednesday against Drummondville, finished the week with 1 goal and 2 assists. And I also have Dylan McKinnon, of course, $50 going to Riverview Minor Hockey with his goal against Cape Breton.
Yeah.
And in goal, our very own Rudy Guimont. I know it's his shutout was on last week's episode, but his play progressed into that shootout win against Cape Breton, so I could not ignore that.
No, I mean, when he gets a shutout and then extends it into it, you got to put it in there. That's an excellent team of the week, sir. That's an excellent team of the team. I didn't think you'd go with that Dylan. I thought you might go with the other Dylan that was on the. But $50 is $50, right?
Couldn't have 3 Q team of the week players on my team.
No, I think you've done pretty well not to have. I think 2 is the most you've had.
Yeah. I like to switch it up a little bit, make it more interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you put Dylan on there for helping out Riverview Minor Hockey, that makes it that much. Better. All right, let's talk about our team here.
Weekly Rewind.
All right, the Wildcats took 2 of 3 over the weekend, bringing the record to 38-9-2 for 78 points, which not only clinches a playoff spot, it's also first in the Maritime, still Eastern Conference, and the QMJHL, setting up a first-round matchup still with the Quebec Grand Par, but Halifax is right on their heels. Thursday, the Wildcats swept the mini 3-game series against the Eagles with a 3-2 shootout victory, which... what is that? 49 games in. That was our first shootout for the Wildcats, which there was a lot of people that probably didn't know that was our first shootout. I watched some of it on TV, got there for the third period. It's kind of just meh game for both teams. I mean, you kind of thought the Eagles, after losing the first 2 and 3 nights, everybody would get the time off. The Eagles would probably start punching back. I think the Wildcats held them off, and it was on the back of Guimond's 38 saves, including a shootout. I think he was very good. The other night when he played the Eagles, they played well defensively. They didn't give up a lot of shots. This one, I didn't want to say they wanted to see what Guimond had, but we got to see what Guimond had, and he was tested early often, and he answered every question in terms of how he'd handle a top level. If you want to call Cape Breton that, I know they're down in the standings, but they are second in the division. They're a top team, and they were until they ran into that 3-game series, they were kind of right on our heels and playing really well. So the game itself was meh, but I thought Guimond was very good. Yeah,
he's quietly proving himself to be quite the pickup. It's you knew Cape Breton was going to come out hard in this game. They didn't want to lose all 3 games to Moncton, and it was, Cape Breton dominated on the shots. I think they had almost, you said 38 shots.
Yeah.
And, Rudy Guimond stopped 36. It's still funny when you think, that first.
They had 40 shots. He stopped 38.
Yeah. So there you go. So it's still funny when you look back at the first game in Moncton, that shutout on the Saturday night, when our buddy Drew Bear said it was an insult to the Eagles for the Wildcats to start Rudy Guimond. Well, he goes and gets a shutout against them on the Saturday, and then shuts the door in a shootout win. So it's just funny when
Drew Bear's having bad luck with they're playing this goalie against us, right? Like, what an insult with the guy in Blainville there.
Well, they got the win against Blainville, so can't really complain about that one. But no, it's Rudy Guimond has been stellar. That's all you want in your backup goalie is to know that there's going to be somebody in there that's reliable and will make the saves that you need to make, and not going to give up a bad goal that's going to let the team down. And it's got to the point where is he going to start getting some more playing time here, because he's proving he can make these saves and keep the team in games and get the wins.
Yeah, he's doing what is he, 7-0 now? He's doing everything he's been asked for in these limited starts, and I got lucky with predictions last week. I said I think what they should do is start Guimond on Thursday, Rousseau Friday for a 19 save, get your game right against St. John. That's pretty much exactly what we got. He seemed to have his confidence back in that one, a 6-0 shutout. The Wildcats took advantage of a young goalie in his second start, in Eric Young. 43 shots, I think. 6 different goal scorers in that game. Like they just kind of took over that game in St. John and played like they should against an opponent like that. And when they play like that, they're so tough to stop. Whether it would be against Rimouski, Drummondville, like they came out 19-4 in shots in that first period, and then 12-5 in the third. Like how many times have we come on here in years past and they took their foot off the gas. They get up 3-0, they take their foot off the gas. All of a sudden it's 3-2 and they got to try and ramp it back up. And, that one, they just 19-4 in shots in the first, 12-5 shots in the third. Like St. John never really were in this game. We only got one power play. I think that might have been maybe St. John played a real good game, but maybe the fact that we were taking control of the hockey game, the officials managed it that way. I'm not blaming them or anything like that, but 6 different goal scorers. Sump got 100 points in his Q career. Dylan Gill with 100 points. I mean, that was just what we want to see more often than not from this hockey club.
Yeah, and they didn't look tired from the night before either. That was the night before was a pretty, it was a long game, 65 minutes plus a shootout. And then the travel to St. John. I know it's not a very far, not a far drive, but it's at the same time, by that time, by the time the game ended, it was 9:45. These kids don't get home to bed till 10:30, 11 o'clock, and then they're at the rink 12 hours later for a road trip. So it was a quick turnaround. They came out and really put the foot to the gas against St. John and against a team that kind of had our number in the first half, and it's good that they've kind of put that behind them. And it was all Moncton in this game. It's Russo really didn't even have to work. We made a couple saves that were Russo-esque. Russo-esque. Yeah, that's a good word.
That works. Yeah,
I like that. But it was just an easy game. Like Moncton dominated it, and that's a game that they they should win. They did win, and it was honestly it wasn't even close. It was total domination. You could say they kind of took the foot off the gas a little bit in the second period, but it didn't come back to haunt them.
And that's a team in St. John that, like you said, kind of had our number, and we kind of thought maybe that would be the team that in the playoffs would give us a bit of a longer series. Mm-hmm. I mean, right now, St. John's looking to cross over. I'm not sure they're going to catch Quebec to be a 1-8 matchup in the Eastern Conference, but that's what you have to do. And you kind of look at these playoff wise, and the thing with Cape Breton is they had 3-3. They treated it like a playoff series.
Yep.
And if you wanted to, if Gardner wanted to look at these 4-3 against Cape Breton and 1 against St. John, I know the level of play is a little bit different, but they went in and they swept a 7-game series in 4 games with 3 in, back-to-back games, which is kind of what it would be like in a playoff series. You'd have maybe a game and a night off in a game, and then 2 games back-to-back. And they went in there, and if you want to say they treated it like a playoff series, that's exactly what they did. They got the sweep, and, you were hoping that was a confidence game for Rousseau. Like you said, he didn't have to be great, but pucks were sticking to him. Rebounds weren't going out. He had a couple glove saves, I think, that make you see the Rousseau-esque play in him. And then you go to Sunday, and it was complete domination by the Philadelphia Eagles. They came out 0 blitzes all day. The defensive line got after him, and it reminded me a lot of the 2020 Super Bowl, where Tampa Bay's defense the defensive line just took over. Yeah, you're right. It's
nothing went on Saturday, so nothing I can think of what went on, and then you just went into the Super Bowl. You went into the Super Bowl, and you're right. It was you didn't get that three-peat, which was a lot of people didn't want that three-peat. So I think there was a lot of people going for the Eagles, and that was just a complete. Yeah, it was. Do you see the video that Tate McRae did? It was
like 2 years ago, picking the score.
Yeah, she was like,
I saw that today. Yeah,
40 and 2022 for Philly, and I was like, holy crap! Like that was last year that she filmed that video. So hey, good Canadian girl with some talent there, but it was. I think a lot of people expected a close game, and this wasn't close at all. It's funny because you don't want to look past, Patrick Mahomes or anything like that. But, until that last onside kick, I was like, man, you never know with this guy.
Yeah.
For them to go and do the Gatorade shower with 2 minutes left, I was like, geez, that's rich. That is ballsy. And then, 50-yard bomb for a touchdown, and then they're going for another onside kick. I'm like, even when there was a minute left, I was like, God, they still have a chance.
Yeah,
it's the Chiefs, it's Mahomes, and then once Philadelphia got that last onside kick, I was like, okay, it's we're good now. They can just run the clock out.
Yeah, and the onside kicks, they're not onside kicks like they used to, where you had a chance. So you kind of knew it was over, but I mean, you thought when the first play of the game, or the first major play of the game, the fourth down, it's an offensive pass interference, which was a terrible call. So you're like, oh, here we go. Chiefs get bailed out. They don't really do anything with it. And then it was like the Eagles were like, you could see, I think they showed one replay where Saquon Barkley was just like, guys, chill out. Like, just chill. We're fine. And then they just, I mean, I thought it was going to be into the half, which we'll talk about the halftime show here in a minute, but I thought it was going to be into the half. KC would adjust. They'd come out. Maybe it's 27-14 or 24-14 going into the fourth, and who knows? But it was just nothing. Like when your front four can get Mahomes uncomfortable like that, it's an easy recipe to take care of the Chiefs. And I did enjoy some of the trolling that a lot of fans, like, the internet's always undefeated, always will be. But people were saying that KC's devil magic doesn't apply when Tom Brady's in the house. Stop the GOAT conversation. Brady, in his 3 Super Bowl losses, had a chance to win the game every time in the fourth quarter. He had no blowouts. Mahomes, in the 2 games that Brady has been present for, has been outscored 71-31 in his 2 Super Bowl losses. Like, it was just, and then someone made a TikTok today, and it was trolling Taylor and Travis with feeling 22. And it was like them. And it was like, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling, and it just showed the scoreboard of 22. Like, just trolling the Chiefs. But we're old. Well, I know I'm old. I had no idea what Kendrick Lamar was saying.
It was. So there was 2 songs that you could say that I know, but I don't know the words. Right. So I know Humble, and I know Not Like Us, and I think it's called All the Stars. I think that's the name of the song. But look, this was probably the first Super Bowl halftime show in recent memory where I didn't know the lyrics to at least one song.
Right.
Like, I could Usher every song I knew.
Yeah.
Lady Gaga, every song I knew. Eminem, 50 Cent, that one there, every song I knew.
Yeah. Katy Perry, Prince,
The Weeknd, the list just
Bruno
goes
Mars.
on.
Yeah.
Like, it's rare that you have an artist to do a Super Bowl halftime show, and usually it's the biggest artist in the world. Yeah. Not to take anything away from Kendrick Lamar. I think he won like 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 Grammys last week.
Something like that, yeah.
But I just don't listen to rap music, so it's not like I just wasn't into it. And it was an okay show. Mm-hmm. But I expect to know some of the music.
Yeah, and I have a friend that plays in our fantasy football league. She's into rap. She's younger than I am. She's into rap. So she was pumped for this. She knows all about the Kendrick, Drake, beef, all that kind of stuff. So she was pumped. But when you're at home, you're looking for things to watch. So I put on the social today because they were talking about it. And one of the girls literally said what you just said. Like, a lot of Super Bowl halftime shows have at least one banger of a tune, one club song. Kendrick Lamar is one of the generational rappers. He's very political with his lyrics and his showmanship in the show there with the guys dressed as the United States flag, all black dancers, Uncle Sam, it was all political, it was all a show.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't know one song. It's not something that you hear in a club that you dance to. You may know Not Like Us, but you don't hear that a lot. You don't hear that on radio stations. You don't, so it was a very niche show. And I know there's some videos online of people showing the crowd reaction at the actual venue in New Orleans, and people were just doing this.
Yep.
Because you can't really see anything because it was all lights and everything. It's not always the best view, but it was not a Super Bowl halftime show for me. It was a very niche show for his fans, and I put it up there for me, one of the worst halftime shows, because I just didn't get it. Like, I went and looked today and saw all the cuts at Drake and, all that kind of stuff and the beef and all the meanings and stuff like that. So I kind of understood it more when I looked at all that stuff. But yeah, they gotta. I'm not sure. And like, I know the Super Bowl doesn't pay you to do the halftime show. You have to pay to do the halftime show or whatever. So if he wanted to take out Drake, he's got the money to do the halftime show and go after him on a national, worldwide, biggest audience scale. But yeah, they got to go with something a little bit more well known, and you're never going to please everybody. I know I saw someone's like, can we have a country show next year? Like, if we're just going to put niche shows on, let's go with country. One guy was like, you see all these old boomer white guys that complain about Kendrick Lamar, and then they're going to go and put on Pearl Jam. I couldn't understand Kendrick Lamar, and then they go hit up a Pearl Jam record. I'm like, okay, that's funny. I get that. But yeah, just not a good halftime show. Went with the game, really. Like we said it last week, I could care less about these two teams. I mean, I watched a reality show, Catching Kelsey, instead of watching any Super Bowl pregame stuff, because it kind of went with the game, and it just wasn't for me.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like, next season, Super Bowl halftime show, like Post Malone, he can bring his country flair, he can bring his rap. That's music that I would know and I would get and I'd be able to sing along to. Yeah. So put me down for Post Malone, and I think he's got the track record now to be a star, to kind of headline that type of a show.
Yep, absolutely. And now the best part of the Super Bowl being over is we're all contenders again. We're all 0-0, and we can just it'll be a fun off season for a lot of teams, a lot of players that could be traded and whatnot. So glad it's over. Glad the Chiefs didn't three-peat, and it was fun to watch Tom Brady kind of talk about. You could tell he was enjoying the fact that Mahomes is getting absolutely hammered. So for our fans that have noticed, we have not touched the Saturday hockey game.
What do you mean? What Saturday game?
Exactly. I feel like
what is it? What's it called in golf? A mulligan?
A mulligan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna call a mulligan on talking about the Saturday game?
Yeah. Yeah. I think a lot of people understand the frustration of that one. So yeah. I mean, we also don't want to say anything that gets us in trouble either, right?
Yep. No, that's kind of where I'm at, because up until about 10 hours ago there, I probably would have said something that would have got not necessarily us, out of the Avenir Center, but me personally out of the Avenir Center. So, we're just going to take this opportunity to not talk about the game Saturday and go on with the show.
Absolutely. Don't sleep on the Islanders. That's what I'll say. Don't sleep on the Islanders. If we want to talk about something on Saturday, it's the Islanders. They beaten Rimouski. They beaten us. They beaten Baie-Comeau.
They've beaten Rouyn-Noranda.
Like, that's a team where the what?
You want to talk about a team that could make some noise in the playoffs? Guess who they're lined up to play in the first round right now?
Rimouski, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we know how there's been some Memorial Cup host jinxes lately. So
yep. And they're only 1 point behind Cape Breton right now, which would give them Chicoutimi. And they are 4 points behind Cape Breton. And I don't know if they play Cape Breton.
No, I think they're done.
Again, if we're going to take something out of that game, we're going to take out the fact that don't sleep on. And they nicely retooled at the deadline, getting Simic, Tabaz Seymour when they shipped out Michaud. Who am I looking at? Charlottetown against Cape Breton. 5-2, so they have 7 meetings. So I think they are done, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they're absolutely rolling right now. I think up until last weekend, I think Charlottetown and Val-d'Or were the hottest teams in the league.
Yeah.
And I mean, still, I think Charlottetown's right up there in terms of one of the better teams right now. So you talk about Lady Mo, we're you get like a month and 10 days left in the regular season. If they keep at this, they could slowly climb up those rankings and maybe surprise a team in the first round.
Yep, they're 7-3 in their last 10, which I mean Cape Breton or Bathurst is 4-6, Cape Breton's 5-3. So Charlottetown is right in there with they're the fourth best record in the last 10. You've got Blainville at 8-1-1, Rimouski at 8-2, us at 7-3, and then Charlottetown at 7-3. So, and that's a team that started 9 games as Corey and why do I always forget his name?
George Matthews. Yeah,
we're saying this team started 9 games under 500, and a lot of people probably questioned what they were doing. And I think we came on here and talked about should they sell, should they retool in the middle of this. They retooled. They didn't have to give up a lot to retool. And they've completely turned this thing around, and there's a chance. I don't think they get home ice, but there's a chance they could get 5th. They're only 7 points behind Baie-Comeau now. Baie-Comeau's going to have to play Chicoutimi and Rimouski a couple times. I don't know what Charlottetown's schedule is, but if they keep going the way they're going, actually, you know what? Only 7 points. That's not too much to catch a team to get home ice. And that's a team, if you get home ice and fans start to believe in that small of a building, look out.
Yeah, I agree. They're rolling right now. Halton Hockey's got them bought in, and they're a team to watch. I'm glad Moncton's done that season series.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to play them, in the last weekend of the regular season with a conference and league champions on the line, having to go play Charlottetown. So it's nice to be done that season series for the season.
So Charlottetown has 1 game left with Cape Breton, so they're 4 points behind. But they've got Sherbrooke, which, like they were saying, must see. They got 2 against Bathurst, who they're chasing. Halifax, Cape Breton. Then they got the Blainville, Drummondville, 2 of those. So they have an okay schedule. Their March gets a little tougher, but they end with Bathurst, St. John, Bathurst, Halifax. So, that game against St. John, Bathurst, that could be a chance where they're looking for home ice if they keep this going. So that's what we're going to talk about from Saturday. That's it. Looking ahead. I mean, you look ahead, some tough games right now. Shawinigan tomorrow. Then you got back-to-back with Halifax. What's Shawinigan right now? 6-4.
It's not a back-to-back against Halifax. It's just like a home and home.
No. Yeah, but back-to-back games against Halifax. Yeah. Saturday. Saturday against Halifax here, and then Monday afternoon in Halifax. Not 2 and 3 nights. So a 3-5 stretch. Shawinigan right now is 5-3. They've 4-0-1 in their past 5. That's another team that's just kind of figuring things out, getting some pieces after the deadline. Took some time, and you can sure as bet that 93 will want to put some pucks in the net. 93, 96 numbers.
93. Yeah, 93.
He's going to be motivated to get that one.
Who's going to have the nuts to stand in front of his shot?
Yeah, that's
if there is, great. I love to see it. Yeah. If not, you better be clearing a lane for that goalie to see it. It's because if not, he could. I'm sure he's going to be motivated to, like you said, put some pucks in the net. And I wouldn't be surprised if he does 1 or 2 at least. So that's I'm looking forward to that one. Hopefully, I feel a little better. It's that doesn't seem like a game I want to miss. So I really hope I can get over whatever the hell I have right now.
Well, and you want to go to the island, right? You want to go to the Jack Frost Fest.
That's right. Yeah, big Jack Frost coming up this weekend, and
that's more so than anything with Shawinigan.
Yeah.
Forget the game. You just want to go see the Jack Frost Fest.
I was hoping there'd be an Islanders game this weekend to go to, but there's not. They're not playing at home, so I'll have to make do without hockey on the island this weekend.
Moncton has beat Shawinigan. They beat them in October 5-2 in Shawinigan. This is a team where, again, you're going to get C. Gradine play, Vintelli, Loshing. They're a good team. And then back-to-back against a team, 2 and 3 nights against a team that is chasing Quebec for that 8th spot and literally is close to being a playoff preview that I don't want in the first round. And that's Halifax with a very motivated goaltender. I hope on our side we have the same motivation from the goaltender. We've seen Halifax enough to know that it's going to be a tight series. It's going to be a tight 2-game matchup, but you got a goaltender that is, we talk about owners or coaches or whatever putting $50 on the board. It doesn't actually happen, but if there's a goaltender that'd be like, we're winning this game, and that we're going to see, I think we're going to see the best Jacob Simon we've seen in 3.5 years in this game.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those games where we're probably going to put up 40, 50 shots, and he's going to stop 47, 37 or 47 shots. Like he's going to be absolutely dialed in. And he's been the best goaltender since the trade period. I can't think of a goaltender in this league that's been better than him since January 6th. Right? It's tough to find one. You could make the argument for Rudy Guimond, but it's in terms of workload and starts. I mean, Jacob Simon's been absolutely lights out.
You're probably looking at Simon and Cornway.
Yep. And
Cornway is on the team he's used to. Jacob Simon had everything, like Rousseau, creatures of habit, everything taken away, and he is. I think Will McLaren had the tweet that he's doing a hell of a job in proving that he shouldn't have been traded.
He has better numbers in Halifax than he did in Moncton.
Yeah.
Like and the teams are, complete opposites of each other.
Yeah.
Like it's unbelievable. He's having a phenomenal second half, and, it's going to be one of those trades that's still talked about. It's going to be talked about for a very, very long time. And you know what? I know I'm still not done talking to it, and there's only going to be one thing that happens that's probably going to have me stop talking about it. Right? And
that's which trophy?
If we're still playing into June, then I might stop talking about it.
Okay, so is it worth it if we get to the Memorial Cup? I know the goal is to win the Memorial Cup, but if we just get to the Memorial Cup, so we win the President's Trophy, we get to the Memorial Cup.
Well, yeah.
I'm not trying to pick a fight. I'm like, is that enough to be okay with this deal, or is it got to be both trophies? Because I kind of think it's got to be both.
For me, it's both. I mean, I know it's a lot to ask for, but if there's both trophies, then maybe we'll stop talking about it. But anything less than that, even one. I think I'll make the argument. I'll just get one trophy. I'll stop talking about it. But if there's no banners being raised, I think this trade is being talked about for years on years on years.
Yeah, I think one at least allows people to say, okay, we did it. Goes the other way and we end up playing Halifax. Lord love a duck. We better come out of that series convincingly. But I think if it's not two banners, and we're talking about championship banners, not divisional banners. If it's not two banners or at least one banner, this is going to be, did you overthink this? And did this, hopefully it will, at least as we get into round 3 and 4, eliminate the toxicity from this fan base, which cut the shit like enough. Like it is so disgustingly toxic. You don't even want to go online when they get a loss. But but look, I don't know, and I've said this to you, and I've said this to other people, and when this was rumored, it was just if we get the 2022-2023 Russo, we're going to be laughing. And I just maybe this is the 2-game stretch that fixes it. And I know we've said, well, he needs this to fix it, or he gets this game against St. John and gets a shutout and fixes it. And, maybe the fact that he wins both of these, because I got to believe he's playing both of them. You would assume he's going to play both of them. And Guimond may start against Shawinigan to see what he's got against that. You got to believe he's playing both. Yeah. Because he's going to want to play. They're going to want to play him at home. Mm-hmm. Give him that for the fans there. He's going to want to play here. Maybe this is the mental lift that he needs. He gets 2 wins against Halifax, and okay, I'm okay. Like maybe that's you talked about the mental fatigue off his equipment. I mean, he had a new bucket again that game against St. John, worked out. Not so much the next night, but maybe that's what it is. It's getting over the Halifax hump.
Could be it. It could, and it's, for all we know, it could be a gear thing, right? Yeah. He's got his black pads, black helmet. No, he doesn't have his black pads yet. Eh?
No, it's still all green.
It's still all green. So
yeah,
heck, it very well could be just the pads. Let's put it that way. There's goalies are so superstitious. It could be just something as small as that.
Yeah.
And hey, if that's the case, I'm sure Irving's got a couple extra $100 in his pocket to maybe get those express shipped to Moncton. It could very well just be something so little, like the color of the pads that's that's messing with them, right? But yeah, you're right. If we can get the Russo from 2022 or even we're going to be good.
Seen it. You've seen small parts of it.
Yeah, we've seen glimpses of it,
little increments of it.
Yeah, so it's just I think it's just a matter of him just I don't want to assume anything. I just want to see him get it.
Yeah, I just want to see him get it figured out, and hopefully this is the series, the 2 games against Halifax that kind of maybe gets him on the right track. Maybe he's got new gear coming, that helps that. But I think right now, you can 100% trust Rudy to play some games.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not there, forcing the issue isn't going to help. Forcing him in there, and I know people are like, well, in Halifax, he never wanted to give up the net. Again, cool, but we want to win some hockey games.
Yep.
It's not happening right now. I mean, they're still winning hockey games, but we want him to be right going into about a month and a half away from now, not struggling to be forced in and it's not helping, right? So I think Rudy started to afford him more starts, and I think Shawinigan is the one. Russo went back-to-back. Go with Rudy on a Thursday. Let him have a complete week off before he plays Halifax, which is going to be one of the a mentally tough game for him.
100%. I'm sure he's gonna be ready for it, and I agree. I'd like to see Rudy get the start Thursday, because if not, I mean, you get those 2 games against Halifax, and you have to assume Russo is going to want both of those. You don't want him playing all three games. It's just not a good recipe, and the Wildcats have that kind of benefit of they've yet to lose back-to-back games, so I assume they're going to come out at their best against Shawinigan, and that's all you can hope for. They've yet to face adversity of back-to-back losses, so I expect them to come crashing and banging on Thursday night.
Yeah, they have not. You're right. I think I was just looking at the schedule. So we don't go to Halifax again. So they could. I mean, odds are they're going to want to the nice guy thing of letting him play the final game in Halifax. So if he's playing, if Rousseau comes out against Shawinigan, you got to believe Rudy's going to play the game in Moncton against Halifax, and then let Rousseau try and set a record like Vidicek, where he's beaten every team in the queue
Yeah.
Right? Like that's where I think Jacob. We don't want Jacob to get that record. That's the one we don't want him to have. Is he's beaten every team. I put this in the notes, and we can kind of look at it because we got some time. The race for first in the Eastern Conference between us and Rimouski. Our next 7 before we face them in March, we've got Shawinigan, Halifax, Cape Breton, Victoriaville, Drummondville, Blainville. Rimouski's got a weird schedule. They got Gatineau, Chicoutimi at home, and then 4 straight against Baie-Comeau. 2 against Baie-Comeau at home, and then 2 against Baie-Comeau on the road.
Interesting.
With 5 games between the two of us, I don't really think there's a team that has an easier schedule out of those games. I mean, we have Victoriaville, they have Gatineau, Drummondville, Blainville. I mean, that's the 2 Chicoutimis. Halifax, Cape Breton, that's divisional, but they've got 4 against Baie-Comeau, which, again, when I'm talking about Charlottetown potentially getting home ice advantage, I got to catch Baie-Comeau. If they want to catch them, they're going to beat them.
Yeah.
You know, they got to beat them, and I don't think they play them again. So they're going to need some help from Rimouski, which we don't need that. So, like, I don't know if you feel the same way on those games leading up to our matchup, and 5 points is a little tighter than we'd like.
Yeah, you were hoping, with the Rimouski loss to Chicoutimi on, I think, Friday night or Saturday, you'd had that's what you're kind of hoping the Wildcats would go into, Charlottetown and win that game so they could kind of keep their 7 points up on Rimouski, but that didn't happen. So, they got to get it going. In those 4 games against Baie-Comeau, you hope Baie-Comeau wins, 2 of them?
Mm-hmm.
At least 2 of them. And Chicoutimi's proven that they can beat Rimouski as well. So, you just hope that at this point you get some help along the way, and you don't want to. The Wildcats want to win. They want to win it themselves, right? They don't want to get help to win the Eastern Conference and the league. So you have to, win your own games first and let take care of your own business.
Yeah, it generally never goes well if you're hoping somebody else has to lose to somebody who has to beat some other team for you to get first. To just take care of the games. If they can just win the games they have to win, it doesn't matter what Rimouski does in the rest of their games. Now, the 2 against Chicoutimi, they do play in Rimouski. They've got 5 straight at home, and that's generally a tough building when that team's playing well. But the key is gonna, again, power play. Power play has to get going, and they're top 10 in the league. We're going to keep harping on it. The penalty kill is number 1 in the league. That's helping out a ton, but I mean, our power play at 23%, Rimouski's is a 19. Like, it seems funny that they're down that far, but they got to get it going. I mean, they were 2 for 9 over the weekend, and 2 of those goals were in the Charlottetown game, where they had a 5-on-3 and they had 4 dudes skating around the outside umbrella. Like, special teams is going to come down almost more than goaltending. Special teams is going to decide a lot of what happens down the stretch.
Yeah, we've said it before. They're not going to be as many opportunities in the playoffs. You got to take advantage. Yeah, and right now, I don't know if they're just trying to figure out the right setup or what, but Collard at the side of the net or Gabe Smith in the front of the net. That's working, right? Yep. So that's where the puck should be going. It should not be going anywhere else other than Gabe Smith in the bumper in the bumper, or Collard parking his ass at the side of the net, right in front of the net, right hand shot, stick on the ice, just get it there.
Yep.
What's the worst that's going to happen? The puck's going to bank in off the goalie. It's going to bank in off the opposing defenseman. Or it's going to go off Collard's stick. You've got 3 opportunities to score. They're not noticing those opportunities, right? Just throw it at the net. That's all you got to do. Throw it at the net.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be pretty up at the top. Just get it to the net. Yeah. You saw the goal that Gabe scored in
blocked right now. The point shots are being blocked. You get it to the side, to the corner there, but the hash marks, and just get a lazy wrister on net, right?
Yeah.
put a couple sticks in the way, get a body in the way, create traffic. It's gonna create rebounds. It's to me, it just seems simple, and they just haven't figured it out.
Nope. And I mean, when they do, it works wonderfully. Like when in Cape Breton, Gabe in the bumper. Then when he just come down and he just moved into a spot, boom. One of the goals in Charlottetown, Sump came into the actual middle slot bumper where where usually a player is kind of higher. Their guy squeezed in on him, and Collard's standing there in front of the net and is able to spin and get a shot. Yeah. Like you can see it working, and it's not just shots are getting blocked at the point. They're getting blocked because if they get past that one defender, there's 4 or 5 because of the distance from the top of the point. Get it down, get some movement. I mean, that 5-on-3, you go back and watch that. They're just skating around up top. There's nothing. It's a 5-on-3. You have at least 5-6 shots. And
it's still, if they don't win that opening faceoff, just don't even, no hope of even scoring. It's just a complete mess. Yeah. If they don't win that opening faceoff following the penalty call.
Yeah, it's becoming a trend and not a trend that we enjoy. But a trend that people do enjoy? That's the stick tap of the week. You ready?
Oh, yes. I love it.
All right, everyone's favorite part of the show.
Eric Murray, realtor, buy a house from him. Stick tap of the week.
All right. So this week's stick tap is going out to the Moncton Wildcats fan club on Facebook. They've organized 2 buses to Bathurst for the March 22nd game, and guess what? We can actually say with confidence this time, these ones are sold out. This is, of course, the last regular season game for the Wildcats and the last regular season home game for the Tita. So, to go along.
It's an emotional one for that city. I hope it's full.
Yeah, I hope so too. It's going to be a good one.
And I hope we have everything wrapped up so that they can, I don't care to lose that one in an emotional game. So I hope we have everything wrapped up in terms of division, first overall. We don't need to win that game for first overall. Just wrap it all up and let them ride off into the sunset with their emotional win.
Yeah. Sorry. If our top line in that game is, Jack Hayne, Riley Sampson and Simon Binkley, I could care less. If our first D pairing is Dominic Nikash and
Langlois.
Tristan Langlois, I could care less. If we start Keegan Warren in that game, I could care less.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, 100%.
If we've got everything wrapped up for that game, I'd be happy. But no, it's, to go along with the Quebec trip and during March break, it's great to have these bus trips back, and, hopefully we can maybe get some in the playoffs.
Yeah. Hopefully we get the right matchups to get them in the playoffs, maybe Charlottetown across the bridge or not Halifax, not Quebec, especially on the Tuesday.
Don't want Charlottetown. Don't want Charlottetown.
No. Good call. No. Yeah. St. John.
Yeah. St. John or Halifax or, even Quebec City would be fun. I know that it would be a 2-3-2, and 3 games in Quebec City would be all right. But I know you might not be able to get that that time away. But I was fortunate enough to I didn't even have to talk to Layla about this one. I just told you were coming to Bathurst, and that was pretty much it. So
that's how this rolls. You just tell her what's going to happen, and sure enough, that's what happened.
I think she's okay with looking after the baby. This is it's a 4 o'clock game, right?
It's a 4 o'clock game, yeah. I actually thought her mother was going to be here because her mom's coming down for almost 2 weeks. She leaves the Sunday before, so I was like, But we talked about it, and I said, it's a 4 o'clock game. Invite a friend over, right?
Exactly. They leave the. I think they're leaving the fourplex at 11:30 in the morning. We'll be home by 10 o'clock at night. She can.
Oh, 100%.
She's good on baby duty for less than 12
our baby's
hours.
Perfect.
Easy piece of cake work.
I'm just gonna knock here just so I don't jinx nothing. There we go. All right.
Another thing I'd like to mention, this Sunday is the second annual Skate for Tate at the Avenir Center from 9 a.m. to noon. Admission is donation only. There's going to be 50-50 t-shirt sales, special guests. snacks, face painting. There's also an online auction that's currently ongoing until Sunday at noon. You can check it out at 32auctions.com/skate for Tate. There's some good stuff on there. There's a fertilization landscaping. There's snow clearing. There's an autographed Spencer Gill hat and puck. There's an autographed Dylan Gill stick and puck and hat. There's a bunch of Arbonne, you name it. It's a good little auction, and some of these items are actually going for above value, which is which you love to see it. So so that's this Sunday the 16th from 9 to 12 at the Avenue.
The Stick Tap of the Week, sponsored by Eric Murray Real Estate with the Remax Avante team. If you're looking to buy or sell a home in the greater Moncton or surrounding area, make sure to check him out on social media or give him a call at 506-863-8802.
Yeah, I'm just looking at some of the auction items here. Got a Wildcat signed jersey, Wildcat signed stick, a couple tee times at Lakeside and Country Meadows. Yeah. It's a pretty decent $75 at Sport Check. Who doesn't love that?
Yeah. No, some good items on there.
Yeah. Thanks for telling me about that, because now I'm gonna go see Bo Bichette figurine, Connor Bedard figurine.
Connor
Bedard's playing pond hockey. Oh, snow removal. Hope that's for next year. All right, that brings us to the Wildcast Wildcat of the Week, presented by Rosemary Lynn Massage and Spa. Right now, they've got the teeth whitening. Starting at $85. 3 15-minute sessions are included at your service price. Add another 15 minutes for only $20. And don't forget, they've got the loyalty card where you get 9 spa services buy 9 spa services, get 1 for free. Jeez, I think I'd have this down by now. Give them a call at 830-1224 or stop in at 1224 Mountain Road. This one, I mean, he's pretty much on everyone's player of the week list. The Q player of the week, the Wildcats player of the week. Made quite an impact in these 3 games, but since the trade period, I don't think he's been a minus player in any of the games that he's played. I'm going to have to find this out. If you can't figure out who it is by now. Usually I have all this set up and I completely forgot about it. I don't think he's been a minus player since he's been here in any one game against Rimouski. Dang it. But anyways, a goal, 4 assists on the weekend, including his 100th 100 point in the queue with Rouen and with Moncton. So your Wildcat of the week is number 14, Dylan Gill. And that's it for us, man. We got through this show. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not a fan of these rule shows. I mean, it's better than me having to do this by myself, like the one time that you were up when you're on your scouting missions.
Oh yes. Yep. Those haven't been happening this season. You know, the team I was working for haven't asked me to go on any assignments. So
you're going on one in August, though, potentially. There's a big one in August, right?
Yeah, there's a big one in August. Got some
season free agents.
Go to track down some OHL free agents here and see who's getting any guys that are going to be released from OHL protected list. I got to try to convince them to come to Moncton. So
pretty good at it. All right.
Yeah, we're working at it. You know, it's that NCAA rule. You know, it's going to help us out.
Yeah. 100%. But yeah, as I stated earlier, we're going back to the playoffs, which I know there's 2 teams that don't make it every year, but the streak is still alive. I've never missed the playoffs. And I'm very happy to. Huh?
Are you kidding me? Playoffs?
It's playoffs? We can't even win a game. The team actually has playoff packages for season ticket holders ready to go. Like, you can actually reserve your seat right now for the 2025 playoffs. They've all but confirmed they're wearing black, with the promo on the website being being black and red, and then you click on it, it's black and red. Like I said a couple weeks ago, pretty sure they're wearing black and red. Not really a fan of them continuing to wear it all the time. Maybe put it away for a bit, then bring it back in the playoffs, let people miss it, and especially on the road. I didn't like it on the road. Like that should be a home.
I hated it.
Yeah, that should be a home only third alternate. Like that's probably a lot of what happened on Saturday night. To be honest, hopefully they don't do that again. But yeah, no, you can go to the website, complete your playoff form for season ticket holders. Make sure you get your seats. They're going to have playoff kiosks February 13th, 15th, 23rd, 28th, and March 1st. And then playoff flex tickets will be allowed at a later date. Usually I don't tell people to go and get these because, I mean, we're generally not going to get out of round 2. This one, you might want to go get the package. It's probably going to save you some money down the road. But yeah, I'm just happy I'm happy they're ready. They're ready to go. They didn't wait till like the week before the playoffs. So either go to the website or give them a call, 506-382-5555. Some big games this weekend. Thursday against Shawinigan, Saturday against Halifax. Hopefully you're feeling better next week, sir. You'll be here because I'm not going to lie. I'm still talking to you, but I miss you sitting right there. I do.
Yeah, I'll feel better. I'll get some meds in me and feel better by hopefully Thursday night.
Perfect. For Jeremy, I'm Adam. See you next week.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Wildcast podcast. Follow us on social media at Moncton Wildcast.